Good morning, everyone. Good morning, my love. Not yet ready. Okay.
Well, how are we going to start this? We haven't even practiced. What are we? How
Don't
are we
worry.
gonna start?
We will cut that part. Good morning. We would like to
Good
share.
morning.
Again. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
We would like to share about my green card removal.
Renewal experience.
Say it again.
Green card renewal experience.
Okay. But first, do you think we will finish this video?
Our green card experience started with me applying for a K-1 visa. We're going way back before we got married. I used lawyers, and it came out expensive, but they helped extremely. They helped a lot. Every time I use a lawyer, we're talking $400, $500 US. Okay. As soon as Ellen came to this country here in the U.S., right away we got married within a month, less than a month, all right? And right away, the next step is change of status, which I also used the lawyers, immigration attorneys, which was also another $400 or $500 US. All right, and that was simple. I got together all the requirements which the lawyers asked for, and they put it together. All I had to do was just collect all our documentation, her documentation from the Philippines, and we just put it together and we sent it, and they put it together. That was their service. So she received her green card with conditions. All right.
But the attorney didn't mention that to us, so we were surprised.
With conditions, which only lasted for 2 years.
2 years.
All right, which lasted for 2 years. Now, there's a difference with conditions. The U.S. immigration do this to see if the couples will permanently stay together as married couples after you apply your K-1 visa. Change of status is applying for legal residency here in this country. And things have changed a lot since 9/11. The immigration laws here in the U.S. are very, very strict.
Very strict at the time.
So, during the 2 years, at the end of the 2 years, okay, this is what we have to try to remember, because I believe every case, every couple
It's different.
that applies for legal residency using a K-1 visa and change of status after that is unique. Every case is different.
Especially if you're in a different state, different law. But since we're here in Jersey, after that, I received this in the mail.
And this is a
Notice of action I-797.
notice of action, which is this is a copy. The first sentence says your conditional residence status is extended for a period of 1 year. During the 1 year extension, you are authorized employment and travel. This extension and authorization for employment travel does not apply to you if your conditional residence status has been terminated.
So I need to bring this all the time.
All right. This is what I remember. During the 2 years extension, everything was okay. Ellen was here legally and everything. But before the 2 years was up, they gave us a year extension, because the U.S. Immigration Department are backed up with so many applicants to seek legal residency. There's different centers here in the U.S. We belong to the center that was located in Vermont, I believe.
Yeah, Vermont.
Okay, So we had our documentation with the extension, which was 1 year. At the end of the year, close to the end of the year, we kept during that 2-year extension, we kept checking the website of USCIS
About my case.
about our case, the month, and nothing was showing up.
Nothing changed.
Yes,
And
you can check the website
Yeah.
concerning your case. If your case is getting close by the month, I believe.
Yes. And then they send me this.
And of course, you have case numbers. You have case numbers to check, and it kept saying that not at this time.
Yeah.
It kept saying your case has not been reviewed yet. So, Ellen's extension was just about up. So what do?
We went to USCIS to ask what's going on
Yes, we went on our own
without
to
attorney's help.
one of the local offices of immigration to let them know, hey, Ellen's year is just, her extension is just about up. You know,
1 month.
What's the story?
1 month, my green card, my 2 years green card will expire. So we're panicking. What if they deported me? They deport me.
We were there, and they gave her another year extension.
1 year extension.
Another year extension.
Because they said my case is still pending.
Exactly, still pending, because all the cases are behind schedule
Yeah, behind schedule. And at
in
that
this
time
part of
they
the country.
I think at that time they have problem with their machines. They said that to us.
You mean computers?
The computer,
Yes.
not machine. Rather.
So, what happens?
Then after that, we went to USCIS. They're so strict. You need to remove everything, even your watch and everything. And then you need to wait for your turn.
Anyway,
We will go delete na lang.
after that, within a week or two, I believe it was 2 weeks, Ellen says it was 1 week, we received a notice in the mail telling us, notice of action. You are
I-711.
receiving this notice because U.S. citizenship and immigration services requires additional evidence to process your form. Please provide the evidence listed on the attached pages. Include duplicate copies of your requesting consular notification. In other words, we went on our own, letting them know that Ellen's extension was just about up. We wanted to know what's the story. Within 2 weeks after we left the office, we received this notification, this notice of action, telling us they require more information, additional requirements to process her 10-year green card immigration status. For her to receive her 10-year, they require more, and we had less than 3 months to get
To provide
all
it.
this requirements, all this requirements for them to process her application, for her to become a permanent legal residence without conditions.
Condition. Napakarami, kaya sa mga Pilipinang bago pa lang magre-renew ng kanilang 10 years green card, ihanda nyo na, masyadong madugo.
In other words, all of a sudden, we're rushing. What did we had to do? Since we rent an apartment, I don't own a home, I had to get our lease under both our names.
Yeah.
All right? And I had to go like 4, 5, 7 times in the leasing office to put her name
On the lease.
on our lease, which I did not have before, did before.
And then they asking about the bank statement that my names need to be appear also.
I also had to go to my bank, all right, to add her name to her checking and savings account. Since I have 2 accounts, 2 different banks, I had to add her name to my accounts. I had to go to the banks, both banks, I had to do that. All right, I had to make sure her name was also in my federal tax return, federal and state. I had to make sure that, I believe, was already done. That I already had done. All right.
We sent that already. That's why they
I had to make
asking.
sure her name was in all my utility bills here in this apartment. All right? These are all the requirements that they needed.
Need.
All right? Or I just kept, even if I already had her name on these documents, I sent them another copies. All right. I had to make sure her birth certificate and our marriage certificates were up to date also. That they had, but I sent them copies anyway.
Yeah, but still they asking another proof if our relationship is legit.
Yes. Yes. Now with this form, is there a name? Form I-751 tells you all the requirements that they need.
Yeah.
All extra requirements they need for them to process the 10-year green card application. And we were in a rush. I also had to do all that stuff. I also had to make out a durable power of attorney for healthcare or property or both. I had to do that. I had to make sure. I had to make one up. I had to go online, I believe, and look at some examples to make sure.
Yeah.
To make sure that I had that. I also have to have. They also suggested affidavits from third parties. Now I believe
That's the
this is the point that really helped us out.
a lot.
It helped us out to go over the hurdle of all these extra requirements. It says affidavits from third parties who have knowledge of the bona fides of our marital relationship. An affidavit should be supported by documentary evidence and must be sworn to or affirmed by at least two people who have known you and your spouse since your conditional residence was granted and have provided information about the relationship to you or your spouse. Number two, have personal knowledge of your marital relationship. 3, may be required to testify before an immigration officer regarding the affidavit's content and have provided their full name, address, date, and place of birth. What I did in our case during our marriage and her year extension, which was a total of 3 years, we kept traveling. We kept traveling to visit our family, to visit my family. So I remembered that I remembered all the dates. I had documentation, like airline tickets, like hotel receipts,
And car
rental. I rent a lot of cars. Car rental agreements, which I kept. I used all that information. I remembered a lot of specific occasions, visiting my folks, visiting my sister with Ellen, and I just put it all together. All that documentation I had saved already. So any documentation, any proof of travel, of going and visiting other people, that really can help in order for you to complete this requirement, an affidavit from third parties. Now, what makes this legit is that I asked my sister and her husband, my brother-in-law, a great favor. They had to go to a notary public and have it stamped. In other words, they swore that all the visits that I had made with them, and I wrote down everything for them. All they had to do was just sign.
and notarize.
They wrote down their driver's license down, and it was notarized by a notary public,
This is
stamped, and they sent it back to me.
This is it look like.
So, in our case, that I believe was what
Yeah.
made the clincher for them, the USCIS, for them to accept her 10-year residence, for them to accept and send her 10-year green card legal residency without conditions. So, every case is different. Every couple's status is different. But if you have somebody that can verify, can vouch your marital relationship, and if they take the time for them to sign any documentation, any that you send to them, and for them to have it notarized. That's a great help. And we received it within April 22nd, 2017. We received this notice on January 22. In other words, we had less than 3 months to
Complete.
gather all this information, because they needed, all the information that they have was not enough. And you received your green card March 28th,
March 28.
2017. So it was, this is the approval.
Yeah. They
Congratulations, your request for removal of condition basis on your permanent residence has been approved. This is dated March 28th, 2017, so that was less than 3 months. 3 months before we had to respond on April 22nd. So, the thing is, we went on our own. We let USCIS let them know that her year extension is just about up. We come back home within 2 weeks. You said it was a week.
Yeah.
We received a notice in the mail. We gotta get all this requirements in less than 3 months.
We're very surprised.
If not, they're gonna ship her home.
Kaya, pag alam nyong may expired na yung green card nyo, yung 2 years green card nyo, mag-asikaso na kayo ng requirement at masyado siyang madugo. Baka kayo mataranta. Mahirap mag-English. Siya na lang mag-English. Right, my love?
Are we finished?
Napakahirap, napakagastos. Kaya sa pangalawang pagkakataon, wala nang attorney. Attorney Cuevas.
Oh, this last process, I did not use attorneys. All right, I did this on my own, and if this has to be done, these extra requirements, you need to check, and recheck all your work, all your documents. They need to be clear copies of all the information that you send. All right, and the third-party affidavit, that's what helped us a lot.
Yeah.
So if you have a third party that can vouch for your marital status, relationship, that helps a lot. Because they already had some of the bank accounts, some of the tax returns that I had sent before, but they needed more.
They needed
more. So I had to send our lease of the here in the apartment with her name. I had to make sure I sent them all extra copies of what they had before, and the third party affidavit, that's what helped a lot.
Yeah. They're asking for another supporting documents before. So
I did this without the attorney's help, without spending another $400, $500 US.
we save a lot for my 10 years green card.
And who knows what we have to go through to renew your 10-year green card.
Yeah. Let's see what's gonna happen again.
So good luck. So if you have an extension and it's running out, go on your own. Go to the nearest immigration office and let them know. Don't wait till the last minute. Don't wait till the last minute, but be prepared. Be prepared to gather all your additional requirements all at once within a short period of time. And that was really messed up. In other words, we go on our own. Hey, time is running out. What's the story? Next thing you know, we got 3 months. We got 3 months to gather all these additional requirements.
Yeah.
Because what they have is not enough.
They really need the supporting documents. If your marriage is legit. Alam nyo na, kasi maraming istorya ng mga Pilipina na pagkakuha raw ng green card, naghihiwalay. Kaya mas lalo silang naging stricto. Hiningian kami ng 10 litrato na magkakaiba damit na magkasama kami. Mag-prepare na rin kayo. Ako, adik ako sa picture. Eto, walang kahilig-hilig. Di pinicturean ko sarili ko kasama siya. Pinupuwersa ko. Dinagamit. Mahihiyain to sa camera Katigasan ng muka. Hindi kang pa ma-reject. Buti na lang. Binigyan kami ng 3 buwan. Kaya ngayon, Okay na ang lahat. Yung green card ko, 3 taon na sa akin.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching, guys.